So you are subjected to zero value or zero fixed value plus 50%. Daily ito ha, daily yung pinag-usapan natin araw-araw.
Ako po.
For example, si Mr. A, ang kanyang daily wage ay 700 pesos. No?
Hingal lang ako.
So how do we get yung withholding tax ni Mr. A sa daily basis?
Magumaan po ako.
Okay? So 700 pesos
Nagtitimbang po ako sa timbangan ni Lolo.
minus 685.
Nung nakaraan
685 kasi over
46 ako,
685. Guys, yung
41
pinag-uusapan natin dito, 15% over 685. So 700, so this is 25 pesos multiply to 0.15. Okay, 25 pesos times 0.15, and that would be 3.75 daily. 3.75 daily. Daily to ha? Yung pinag-uusapan natin dito. So, sabihin natin, ilang araw ba ang pinapasok ni Mr. A sa isang buong buwan? 5 times, sabihin natin, mga 20 days. No? So, 20 days times 3.75.
Ganyan lagi liko niyan, alas 7, alas 8.
20 times 3.75 is 75.
Ganun hapon, gabi.
75 pesos monthly. Okay. So, it is understandable that Mr. A should be
Di naman maganda yung
15 lang ba to? Sorry, my bad. Okay.
Mataba.
Times 0.15. So, dapat pala 2.25 lang to. Daily.
Buwan pa naman lagi
So,
siya.
2.25.
Tapos lagi pa mga kuyak sa gabi.
20 times 2.25
Alas 11
is 45 pesos lang pala.
tulog pa.
So, alit niya tignan, no?
Yun yun.
Yung 45, sir, 45 monthly lang naman pala yung kailangan. Okay. So, paano ba natin to na this is compensation, guys, ha? Sa daily na kumikita ng 700 pesos na tao. Okay? I-multiply natin yung 45 pesos na yan sa 12 months.
Huwag mo kilitiin, kausapin mo.
Kausapin mo siya.
So, that would be 540 for the whole year. Pero alamin natin, magkano ba talaga yung kinikitang income ni Mr. A sa isang buong taon? Kung 700 siya daily. So, let's understand that 700 times 20 is only 14,000 a month.
G-Well.
Okay?
Sakto lang.
G-Well.
Times 20 is only 14,000 a month. And remember guys, sa ating graduated tax table, sa ating updated 2023, anyone that is earning 25,000 and below is not already subjected to tax. So what is the point of us withholding Mr. A? No? So ibig ba sabihin ito, sir, dahil na because pa, no?
Sino?
Because of this, of the new law of the train law,
Oo
do we
naman
need
eh.
to follow
Kasi
the
bulol
withholding
ka.
tax? Okay?
Pinakapagbulol na
No, not anymore. Why? Because these minimum wage earners cannot already be taxed. Okay? So, always remember guys, itong dito sa withholding tax table, effective on January 1 onwards. No? Bakit ba nilabas nila to, sir? Hindi naman na pala kailangan magbayad ng tax nitong mga tao na to kasi minimum wage earners sila. No? For the purposes ito of the payment of sino? The employer. Para sa kanyang deduction naman to. Okay? Understood any question? Meron ba tanong? Wala. Okay. So mamaya, mas i-tutorial explain ko sa inyo ang withholding tax. Dinaanan lang natin siya for the purpose of this interest income and everything else sa rental and so on. So let's move on to the next topic kasi ito madadaanan din natin itong mga prices and rewards. Dito tayo sa, yes, Mr. Ferrer.
Yes, bali, parang naintindihan ko na po yung sinasabi nyo kanina kasi di ba nabanggit niyo po na yung mga minimum wage earner or yung 25,000 below is hindi na po kailangan magbayad ng tax na yung monthly po, diba? So, ayun nga po, naano ko rin kasi na dito sa may business tax namin, napansin ko kasi yung output VAT saka input VAT. So, meaning to say, kaya po kailangan i-declare ng mga company na kasi di ba yung mga minimum wage earner may mga natatanggap pa rin naman silang mga parang ano ba yun? 307 ba yun? Or
Yes.
parang di ba po? So ibig sabihin para ma-lessen kasi di ba expenses po ng company yun kung sakali di ba yung sa tax nila. Tama ba yun? So parang sabi ng bawas ganun sa output VAT.
Okay, kasi ang yung sinasabi mo kasi Mr. Ferrer, yung regarding sa VAT naman. If you're talking about VAT kasi guys, no, this is like this. If the business is imposing VAT to their customers or to their clients, okay, ibig sabihin po na, okay, yung VAT na yon, kunwari, sabihin natin subjected to 15% VAT or 12% VAT, 12% VAT rather. Kunwari, pag bumili ka, okay, or nag-order ka ng 12%, diba? Yung VAT po na yon, is yun po yung parte na binabayad mo doon papunta doon sa korporasyon na yon or sa business na yon na nagiging pool ng kabuuan ng binabayaran nila na tax doon sa VAT na yon. Kumbaga, it is your personal share as a client or as a customer. Diba? Kaya tayo sinisingil ng VAT. Pero at the same time, dapat ang katumbas nung binabalik nun, nung in-VAT saka out-VAT, is yung binibigay ng BIR na OR na tinatawag natin, official receipt. Okay? Kapag hindi po kayo binibigay ng OR or official receipt, once you pay, nakalagay dun sa bill nyo, may nakalagay na VAT, hindi naman OR, wag nyo pong babayaran yung VAT. Why? Because they're just giving you a receipt that is not part of the OR. Okay, so therefore, ano nangyari? Nabubulsa lang nila yung VAT nila. Okay. So, kasi yung in-VAT saka out-VAT na sinasabi mo, Mr. Ferrer, mas hindi siya nagre-reflect into this withholding na tinatawag natin. Kasi sa withholding kasi guys, no, because of the train, no, economic expenditure of the people, tinanggal nila yung tax dito sa mga minimum wage earner. Bakit? Kasi hindi na siya nagsasubject into the 250,000 na fixed price doon sa graduated tax table. Kaya tinanggal siya. Okay? Bakit ba kailangan pa rin natin mag-file ng withholding? Kailangan pa rin natin mag-file ng mga tax forms natin. Kasi baka mamaya, meron pa ibang naging source of income within your work. Okay? Kasi meron po tayong tinatawag na minimum wage earners but earning commissions. Okay? Kapag kasi sinabi mo minimum wage earner, minimum wage means your salary lang. That is another source of income. Tapos meron pang tinatawag na commission, another source of income naman yun. So kailangan natin mag-report talaga because of these scenarios. Tsaka yung fringe benefit pa, baka mamaya may fringe benefit ka na natatanggap sa kumpanya mo. Pero it doesn't mean that you need to submit this kind of forms, that you need to pay the tax. Okay? Clear ba yun, Mr. Ferrer?
Yes po, oo nga pala napansin na ko nga pala na-realize ko pala na iba pala yung VAT dun sa may pinag-uusapan natin ngayon kasi sorry pa.
Yes.
Pero yun nga, kasi nagtataka lang ako, yun nga, nagpa-file pa rin ng mga ganun nga, mga forms. Pero yun pala, nakuha ko na yung sinasabi niyo, yung dahilan po kung bakit kailangan.
That is the essence of filing the reports or the forms. Okay? So, guys, dito sa winnings naman, okay? Kasi ito lang yung pinaka naiiba sa 20% eh. Sa winnings po kasi, kapag lumagpas ng 10,000 yung nyo, subjected na yan sa 20% tax, okay? Pero kung hindi naman lumagpas ng 10,000, it should not be subjected to the 20,000 na final withholding tax. No? Lagi kasi nating misinterpretation that withholding tax is part only of your for example, nanalo ka ng best employee of the month. No, merong pa 5,000 si boss. Dahil less than siya sa 10,000, it should not be part of your final withholding tax. Paano kapag 20,000 ang binigay ni boss? Doon lang po siya magiging subject sa tinatawag natin na final withholding tax. Kasi lumagpas na siya doon sa 10,000 pesos, which should be 20% of the final withholding tax. Okay, medyo mabigat kasi talaga ang withholding tax, guys. Kaya tayo nagkakaroon ng table. Kaya nagbigay yung gobyerno ng table kasi baka mamaya masyadong mabigat yung final withholding tax. Okay? I know it is confusing for everyone. Sir, meron na tayong graduated tax table, meron pa tayong withholding tax table. Okay? Bakit ba kailangan natin ng withholding tax table? The purpose of the withholding tax table is for your employer. Para alam ng employer kung magkano yung ibabawas niya sa'yo once na nagbayad na sila ng tax para sa'yo. Kaya nga siya withholding. Diba? Your employer or your company is withholding that tax, enable for you to pay it in behalf, sila na yung magbabayad para sa'yo. Okay? And nagmamatter po sa withholding tax, ang tinatawag natin na mga deductibles. Okay, or mga deductions, na which is pag-uusapan natin next after this. Okay, let's move on to the exclusion of gross income. Okay? Dito kasi sa exclusion of gross income, okay, exclusion are items of income excluded by statute or by the fundamental law from income tax. Dito na papasok yung NIRC. Ano ba yung sinasabi ng NIRC na exclusion from gross income? Okay? So yung mga tax-free income should not be included in the income tax returns unless information regarding it is specifically called for what? Not taken into account in figuring gross income. Okay? The concept of return of capital. Okay? Bakit natin pinag-uusapan? Yung exclusion. Kasi kapag nag-exclude ka doon sa gross income mo, it is what? Return of capital. Pumupunta siya papunta sa capital mo, nagiging parte siya ng... Bakit? Kasi nakakasave ka ng pera because of that. Okay? So, these are the beneficiaries and who may avail the exclusion from gross income. You may screenshot this, guys. This information is very informative for everyone. Okay? Kung sino ba yung mga kailangan or yung mga taxpayers na excluded from the gross income. Okay. First, the taxpayer is the heir or the beneficiary. Kaya po doon sa tax form natin, yung 197 natin, nakalagay doon na sino yung mga beneficiary mo, benefactors mo. Okay? Kasi, yung life insurance na paid upon the death of the insured to heir beneficiary, excluded na po yun sa gross income. Okay? Kung sino yung mga beneficiary na yon, may exclude yun sa gross income. For example, kapag namatay ka, meron kang insurance, yung lahat po ng pera na matatransfer papunta doon sa mga beneficiary mo, excluded na po yun from the gross income. Hindi po parte ng gross income ang insurance. Okay, bakit? Namatay ka na nga magiging parte pa ng income mo yun. Diba? Yun yung purpose. Next, the insured. Okay? If the amount received by the insured is return of premiums paid by the endowment, life insurance policy upon reaching the maturity dates, for example, nag-reach na yung maturity date ng insurance, okay, excluded na yun sa gross income. Kapag yung sa insured, sa part ng insured, buhay pa sa insured. Okay? Yun yung mga taxpayer na pwedeng ma-excluded from the gross income. Next, donate or heir. Yung mga nabigyan ng donation. Yung value of the property given by gift, bequest, or device, excluded from the gross income. Yung natanggap mo na yun, hindi po gross income yun. Ibang klaseng tax na yun. Yun na yung tinatawag natin na donor's tax. Okay? So, hindi siya parte ng gross income mo, so hindi siya income taxation. Okay. Yung insured, the state, or beneficiary, ito naman yung sa compensation act naman natin, sa Workmen's Compensation Act. Okay, any damage on the account of such injuries or sickness, nagkaroon ng aksidente, syempre magkakaroon ng compensation, excluded po sa gross income yun. Okay? Yung compensation na natanggap mo, doon sa pagkaka-aksidente mo sa insurance mo, hindi siya parte ng gross income. Okay? Next. Income except under a tax treaty. Syempre, understandable na to eh. For example, may treaty ang Europe tsaka ang US, ang Europe tsaka Pilipinas na lahat ng mga product na under 10,000 na coming from Europe is not subject to VAT. Excluded po sa gross income yun. Okay? Hindi po magiging parte. Okay, retirement benefits, pension, gratuities, and separation pay are not part of your gross income. Okay? So, hindi siya income tax. Okay? Hindi siya pwede maging subject ng income tax. Okay. Ano pa? Foreign government financing institution. Yung mga income derived from investment in the Philippines on loans, stock bonds, or other domestic securities are not excluded in your gross income. So guys, if you want to invest and you don't want to be taxed, invest in what? Foreign governments or financial institution of foreign governments. Okay? Government of the Philippines or its political subdivision, income from public utility or from the exercise of any essential governmental function is also excluded from gross income. So hindi rin siya subject sa income tax. Next, yun nga yung prizes and awards, religious or charitable or scientific, sabihin natin, isa sa mga Pilipino natin dito is nagkaroon ng Nobel Prize Award, hindi po yun subjected to gross income. Okay, hindi siya magiging parte ng income taxation. Next, we have the athletes naman. Ano naman yung mga prizes and awards na to athletes? Diba? Si Hideling Diaz po, hindi po siya nataksan. Okay? 13-month pay, hindi po included unless it excess the what? The 90,000 pesos. So kapag ang 13-month pay mo is nag-exceed ng 90,000 pesos, ibig sabihin po nun, it should be subjected to taxation. Okay, income tax. Yeah, yes.
Sir, just lang po, nasa labas na daw po yung food.
Sige, wait lang ah.
Sige po.
Ipapano ko lang. Papano ko dyan. Wait lang guys. Okay. So, yung mga GSIS, SSS, PB contributions, and union dues of individuals, yung mga mandatory, wait lang guys, may tumatawag lang sa akin. Okay. So, lahat po ng contribution natin, yung mga public contributions natin or government contribution, those are not part of our gross income also. So, it should not be part of the taxable income. Okay, investors with a maturity of more than 5 years naman sa sales band, yung mga debentures and other certificate of indebtedness, hindi rin po ito part ng gross income. Okay? So, there's a lot of investment that are not part of the gross income. So, take ng mga to guys talagang i-grab niyo yung mga opportunities na to. Take notice of this kind of investments. Okay. 13-month pay, basta hindi lang naman mag-exceed ng 90,000 yan. Okay? So hindi yan taxable. Pero kung nag-exceed ng 90,000, taxable na yan. So, I think it is much more better if we move on to the type of income, no? Kasi para mas mabilis tayo. Kasi itong mga deductions na to, ano din naman natin to doon sa incomes. Wait lang guys ha. Okay, dito tayo muna sa deductibility pala muna. Okay, ito na yung mga usapan natin kanina ng mga deductions. Ano ba yung mga pwede mong itanggal, pwede mong ibawas doon? Always remember guys, we have the thing that we call the 40% deduct. Okay? So you can pick a 40% deduction in a year for the whole taxable year at hindi mo na po pwedeng baguhin yun. Pagka pinili mo yung 40%. Ano ibig sabihin ng 40%? Sasama-samahin lahat ng deductibles mo. Tapos 40% na yung i-deduct sa'yo para doon sa tax mo. Okay? Pero kung gusto mo naman ng itemize, pwede rin naman. And these are the itemized. Okay. The first one is the traveling and transportation expenses. Okay? Okay, traveling expenses are ordinarily understood to include transportation expense and meals and lodging. Okay? If the trip is undertaken for other than business purposes, the transportation expenses are personal expense. And the meals and lodging are living expenses and therefore not deductible. Kapag personal expense, not deductible daw. Okay? The trip is solely on business, reasonable and necessary traveling expense, including transportation, meals and lodging, become business instead of personal expense. Lagi nating tatandaan, is it personal or is it business? If it's personal, it's not deductible. But if it's business, okay? Okay, aside from the requisites of deductibility in business expense, kapag paid or incurred while away from home, ordinary and necessary reasonable, and paid or incurred on the pursuit of trade or business or exercise of profession, it should be what? Kapag pag sinabi natin away from home, deductions for traveling expense may be had only when the business requires the taxpayer to be away from home. Pag yung business expense na yan or yung business is nare-require na mapalayo ka sa bahay mo, okay, in that sense, all those kind of travel and living expenses of the taxpayer can be what? Be deducted from the nature of personal expense. Okay? Basta kapag yung business requires na paalisin ka sa bahay mo, be away from it, all the lodging and all the food can be what? Deductible. Okay? So pwede mo siyang gamiting deduction. Okay? Next, for rental expenses naman, kailan naman pwedeng ma-deduct ang rental expense, no? Required as a condition for the continued use of possession of the property being leased, the taxpayer has not taking, okay, the title of the property or has no equity other than that as a lessee. The subject to that expanded withholding tax of the rental charge is 5% net of VAT. Kahit po yung pagbabayad po ninyo ng inyong rental. Okay, so kung sino pa mga nagre-renta dito, lagi niyo pong tatanungin si nagpaparenta. Ano po ba kayo? Registered po ba kayo? May BIR po ba kayo? Why? Kasi kung walang BIR, walang VAT yan. Diba? 5% ang lagi diyang withholding. Pero, if the lessee or the leased property is considered additional rentals paid by him and considered as deductible as such, the landlord and the taxes of the rental income are deductible as taxes. So kunwari, kung si lessee, yung mga tax na binabayaran ni lessee is for additional rentals kay landlord, those additional rental or additional rental income is deductible as taxes. No? Kunwari si landlord, kay landlord to na side guys ha, itong deductible taxes ha. Okay? Okay, so if the owner reserving no interest for himself makes an irrevocable transfer of business property to for his family and lessee, sa kapamilya niya, the amount he pays for rent for use of the property is deductible. For example, nagrerenta si owner doon sa pwesto na yon, leasee siya. Tapos yung pag-lease na yon is transfer niya into papunta sa kanyang kapamilya or sabihin natin anak niya, pamangkin niya or kanino man, lahat ng doon sa property na yon, deductible po yun. Okay? So that is rental expense deductibility. Next, entertainment and amusement and representation expenses. Ano ba yung mga entertainment? Okay. Ano mga example nito? Okay, it must be directly connected daw. Must be shown the expense were made to drum up business. There must be a link between the expense and the business. For example, business meeting. Nagkaroon ng business meeting. Okay? So, kunwari, nag-business meeting, gumastos ng pang-karaoke si boss. Gumastos ng 30,000 na pang-karaoke si boss. No? Para sa development ng management. No? That is considered as deductible. Yung entertainment na yon. Okay, it must not be contrary to law, morals, good customs, public policy, or public order. So kapag sinabi ni owner or ni CEO na okay boys, punta tayo ng Pegasus. Treat ko kayo. Parang company natin, company outing natin. Eh dahil ang Pegasus is what? Contrary to law, contrary to public order. So therefore, girl at the first place, so entertainment na yon. Okay. Next, it must not have been paid directly or indirectly to an official or employee of the national government. Bawal po sa gobyerno. Okay? And what? It must not exceed in the selling point of 50% of net sales for sellers of goods or property. Bawal po mag-exceed ng 50% ng net sales. Kunwari ang net sales nyo is 30,000 pesos. So, hanggang 29,000 lang, ay hanggang 14,000 lang ang pwedeng gastusin ni boss para sa entertainment. Okay? Okay, ano pa ba? Okay, deductibility naman sa materials and supplies. Pag-usapan naman natin yung deductibility ng materials and supplies. Okay. Yung pag-ano naman sa only the amount that they are actually consumed in use in operation during the year lang, ha? Yun na yun. Wala nang ibang pwedeng maging dahilan para maging deductible ang materials and supplies. Kailangan po yung amount ng nagamit lang sa isang buong taon, yun lang po yung pwedeng i-deduct sa materials and supplies. Okay? Ganun lang kadali yan. Ordinary repairs and maintenance. Okay? So the ordinary repairs and maintenance, always nyo tandaan, ang pagpapaganda po ng isang building or renovation, it is not an ordinary maintenance. Okay? So it is what? Taxable. Ay, it's not deductible. Hindi pwedeng gamitin as deduction. Ano lang ang pwedeng gamitin as deduction? Ordinary repairs and maintenance. Ano yung mga ordinary repairs? Nag-ayos ng bubong, nagpintura ng pader, yan. Okay, nag-ayos ng mga electrical. Yun po yung mga example. Okay, ng mga ordinary. Next, deductibility of professional fees. Ano naman tong professional fees na to? Okay, the hiring of the service of professionals like lawyers, accountants, etc. shall be considered as deductible expense subject to the condition that the same shall be subject to excluded withholding tax. Okay? So, dapat yung professional render nyo, ng pag-render nyo ng service, is a general professional partnership. Okay? Dapat po yung GPP is a tax-exempt entity. Hindi po nagbabayad ng tax-exempt. Bakit? Bakit hindi nagbabayad ng bakit tax-exempt yung mga GPP? Kasi personal po sila nagbabayad ng tax. Okay? Individual tax po lagi ang mga partners. Unlike sa corporation na corporation tax. Okay? So, yun yun. So, kapag ka sa isang general practitioner, kunwari nag-hire ka ng service ng isang law firm, at accounting firm, yung mga yan, tapos registered sila, pwede mo pong gamitin as deduction yun. Okay. Training expenses. Ano naman itong mga training expenses na to? Okay. Incurred during the taxable year for training the employees. Yun na yun. Okay? Every year lang. Okay? Kapag ka hindi mo na-deduct yan, hindi siya hindi siya makakount. Okay? Na deduction. Advertising and selling expenses. Okay? Ano naman to? Okay. Advertising generally of two kinds. Advertising to stimulate, advertising to design, to stimulate. Okay, isa para ma-stimulate yung inyong current sale of merchandise or use sign. And as to the question of reasonableness of amount, this expenditure is deductible. To stimulate the current sale, guys, kung yun yung purpose ng advertise nyo. Pero kung yung advertising nyo is to design to stimulate the future sale, okay, this is not deductible. Ano lang ang pwede maging deductible? Advertising na nag-stimulate of the current sale use of services. Okay? Okay, deductibility of insurance premiums. The taxpayer must engage in trade or business or practice of profession. The insurance premium must be ordinary and necessary. The insurance must be connected with the company. It must not be considered as an illegal compensation made to the government employee, and the company must not be made the beneficiary. Okay? Okay, insurance premiums paid by the taxpayer to insurance its business against fire, storm, theft, accident, or similar are deductible expenses. So yung mga nagbabayad po dyan ng insurance na pwede nyo pong gamitin na deduction yun. Okay? Next, we have the deductibility of interest expense. Actually, itong sa interest expense, mas clear to mamaya kapag nandun na tayo mismo sa expense. Okay. Deductibility naman of taxes. Ano naman to? All taxes, whether national or local, must have been paid or incurred in connection with the taxpayer's trade or business or exercise of profession. Okay? Tax must have been directly imposed by law on the taxpayer. Taxes must have been paid or incurred during the taxable year. So lahat po ng deduction, kailangan kung during that year, yun lang pong year na rin yung gagamitin. Hindi po pwede yung deduction yun nung last year, hindi nyo na ilagay, gagamitin nyo ngayong taon na ito. Hindi po pwede yun. I think that's all for the deduction. Itong bad debts, mas maano to sa transfer tax. Saan na ba yung ating mga... Doon tayo guys sa ano na, sa... Ayan. Dito tayo mismo sa taxation ng individuals. Okay? Na tayo magkakaroon ng computation ng malala. Okay. The pure compensation income earners. Okay, the resident citizen, the non-resident citizen, and the resident LENs. Okay, so again, this is our tax table as of 2023, January. So, over means lumagpas doon sa value na yon. Not over, hindi lumagpas sa value na yon. Yung basic amount, these are fixed amount added upon into the additional rate. Okay? So, lagi natin tatandaan, the excess tax. Okay? So, let's give an example. Okay. Wait lang guys. So, ayaw mag-open ng classic na whiteboard. Okay, gamitin na natin. Okay, I will give you a problem. Okay?
Hindi ka nagbubra?
사랑해요, 아미. BTS.
Okay. Ba't nawawala yung whiteboard? Sorry guys, nawawala yung whiteboard. Bigla siyang nagko-close. Okay. So, as you can see here, the question here is, how much ba yung taxable income niya dapat? Okay? So, Mr. A daw is a minimum wage earner, earning 685 a day, but he earns income from commissions of sales of vacuum. As of 2024, Mr. A earned a total of 400,000 in income. So, minimum wage earner si Mr. A. Pero kumita siya ng komisyon sa pagsisell ng vacuum. At ang total earnings niya for that year is 400,000 in income. So, the first question here is Mr. A taxable? Diba? Kasi ang sinasabi natin kanina sa Create Law, minimum wage earners are not taxable. No? Dapat hindi sila taxan. No? Ito ba? May dumadagdag. Nakakopy. Okay, so Mr. A is a minimum wage earner, di ba? So, ang ruling nga natin sa Create Law, kapag minimum wage earner ka, dapat hindi ka kumikita hindi ka dapat natataksan. That is the first rule, di ba? Na alam natin. So, how do we harmonize this law? How do we tax Mr. A? Okay. So, first things first, guys, always remember, a minimum wage earner is not taxable. Bakit hindi sila taxable? Kasi yun yung sinabi ng batas. Okay? So, let's assume that 250,000, okay? Kapag 250,000, yun yung pwede allowed na hindi mataksan. Okay? Hanggat hindi lumalagpas, not over 200,000. Okay? So, dahil merong 400,000 dito si Mr. A, ang gagawin po natin dyan, i-minus natin yung 250,000 na allowable. Okay? Yun yung gagawin natin. Okay? Yung 250,000 na not over na yun, i-minus natin at ang matitira na lang ay 150. Okay. So, ang matitira na lang dyan is 150,000. Okay? Kasi ina-assume natin na 250,000, yun yung buong income ni Mr. A sa buong taon na yun, sa salary niya lang. Kaya ilagay natin din salary. Yung 250,000 na yan. So may excess siya na 150,000. Do we need to tax this 150,000? No? No. Okay, bakit? Saan natin i-count tong 150,000 na to? For another 250,000. Okay? Bakit? Kasi this is another source of income of Mr. A. Okay? Dito sa 250,000 niya, salary niya, as a minimum wage earner, hindi siya pwedeng bawasan. Hindi siya pwedeng mataksan. So, ibawas na natin yung 250,000 na yun doon sa 400,000 na in-income niya sa buong taon. So, itong 150,000 na to, another source of income, magka-count, not as a minimum wage earner, but as an income earner. So, magka-count ka dito sa 150,000, umabot ba ng 250,000? Hindi. So, therefore, Mr. A is not taxable. Okay? Guys, this is a bar question. No? Naging bar question tong klaseng problem na to. Okay? At lumabas dito sa Sipale. Ang tanong na to. Lalong-lalo na nung kakapasok ng 2023. No? Kasi magkaiba yung ceiling point ng 2022 tsaka ng 2023. So take note of this, pakilagay lagi ito sa isip nyo. Kapag minimum wage earner, assume the 250 as his salary or her salary. Then kung merong excess, saka ka mag-count ulit ng 250,000. Kapag nag-exist ng 250,000, yun yung isubject mo ngayon sa taxation. For example, another problem. Paano kung hindi 400,000 ang kinita ni Mr. A? Paano kapag kumita siya ng 800,000? Okay? Ito yung income niya for 2024. So, ang gagawin natin, ganun lang ulit, 800,000 minus 250,000, and that would be 550,000. Okay. So, 550,000 daw ito. Punta tayo ngayon sa ating tax table. Okay. So, 550,000. Meron 550,000. So, saan si Mr. A? over 400,000 but not over 800,000. Okay? So balik tayo doon. Balik tayo sa ating whiteboard. Okay? Okay. So nandito tayo sa 550,000. So over 400,000 but not over 550. So how do we tax the 550,000? Ang gagawin nyo po is yung 550,000. Ano ba ang excess niya sa 400,000? Okay? So that would be 550,000 minus 400,000. So the excess is 150,000. So punta tayo dun sa ating table. So ano ba yung percentage? Additional rate is 20% plus basic amount of 22,500. Okay? So punta tayo sa whiteboard ulit natin. Balikan natin yung whiteboard natin. 20% daw. Okay? So 150,000 times 20%. Okay. 150,000 times 20% times 0.20 is equal to 100 times 20 is 30,000 plus yung fixed amount na 22,500. Okay? So for the whole year, Mr. A's income tax is 52,500. Tax amount. Okay. So ganun po kumuha ng income tax if you are subjecting it to gross income. Okay? Excess lang po lagi yung kukunin natin. So 52,500 is the total tax amount that Mr. A needs to pay for that whole year. Okay? Okay, next. Pure compensation income ka. Sino ba yung mga example ng mga pure compensation income? These are persons that are compensating or has a compensation in their work, no? So, yung mga salary based to. Okay. And basic tax plus tax due basic tax plus on excess times graduated tax rate. Yan yun, yung magiging ano. Don't worry, isisend ko to kay, andito ba si Miss Hana? Isisend ko kay Miss Hana tong PowerPoint para meron din kayong copy. Okay? Pero please lang, yes, Mr. Valles.
Sir, question lang, sir.
Yes.
Regarding yung sa 400,000.
Yes.
Yung sa first, question. Sir, kasi yung 400,000, di ba, sir? Total na siya. Kasama na yung basic salary niya. Like yung 250,000.
Yes.
Hindi po ba nadoble yung deduction niya, which is naging 700,000? Kasi dun sa 400,000, dinanak mo na yung 250,000, which is yung parang dun sa tax exempt niya. Right po ba dahil exempt siya? So yung last niya, sir, yung difference ng dalawang yan, which is over na siya dun sa ceiling point na ay sa ceiling amount, which is 250,000. Di ba po ba taxable na siya, sir?
Hindi, ganito kasi yan. Okay? Di ba si Mr. A is a minimum wage earner. So, technically, kung 685 siya per day, 685 per day times 20, 13,700 per month. Times mo siya sa 12, so 164,400. Pero dahil nga kasi ang binibigay na parang ceiling point para sa mga minimum wage earners until 250,000. So you assume that the 250,000 is not included on the 400,000. Kasi yung after mo ma-minus yung 250,000 sa 400,000, tatakbo yung 150,000 as a new income. Separate income na siya sa ibang source. Pero dahil nga sa tax table natin, wala namang over 150,000, dapat over 250,000. So hindi taxable yung 150,000 niya. Gets mo na ba, Mr. Valles? Kasi yung unang 250,000 na yun, doon lang yun sa minimum wage niya eh, as a salary. As a minimum wage earner. So bali, let's assume that the 150,000 was the commission, which is another source of income, another income na naman. So magka-count na naman siya ng until 250,000. Yes, Miss Angana.
Hi sir, based kasi sa experience ko, commission is withholding tax po.
Yes.
Hindi siya
Yes, pero kasi 'di ba kung nakita niyo kanina yung ano natin, yung sa withholding tax natin, yung sa not over. Pagka kasi ginawa mo daily yung wait, ibalik natin yung picture nung ano natin ha para mas magets na lahat. Balik natin siya. Okay. Meron kasi tayong tinatawag na daily withholding tax, weekly withholding tax, semi-monthly and monthly. Diba? Tama, merong ganyan. Okay. So, saan natin gustong ipasok yung 150? Sa monthly. Sabi natin sa monthly. Okay. Let's divide the 150,000 into 12. So, 12,500. So, yung 12,500, pag tinignan natin dito sa tax table, which is dito tayo sa monthly, and guys, oh, zero. So, kahit saan ka pumunta sa graduating or sa withholding tax, magiging zero talaga siya. Gets na ba, Miss Anganak?
Yes po sir.
Okay. Yun yung, that's why it is confusing, guys. No, alam nyo, yan yung pinaka-confusing ngayon. Nandito pa lang tayo sa income tax, yung sa gross income tax, saka sa withholding. Paano pa pag nagpunta pa tayo doon sa 8% na option out nitong mga self-employed na to? Okay? So which is mamaya i-discuss natin. Kaya nag-mix yung pagiging minimum wage salary earner tsaka commission based is this is very confusing kind of taxpayers, no? Sobrang confusing. Kasi at the first place, you being a minimum wage earner should not be subjected to tax. Yun kasi laging rules eh. Ngayon sa 2023 sa Create Law, you should be subjected to tax kapag hindi ka lumagpas sa 250,000, you're automatically zero. Okay? Tapos kumikita ka pa sa commission mo, so that is another source of tax. That is another source of income. Kaya nga sabi ko kanina, mahalaga na i-identify natin kung ano ba yung sources natin ng income. Okay? So dahil nga yung commission is another way or another source of income, it is another count of that for the graduated tax table or the withholding tax table. Okay? Kasi technically guys, tignan natin tong yung 20,000 na to. Yung 20,833 times 12. That would be 249,996. So itong withholding tax na to, dito sa zero na to, is considered not over 250,000. Okay? Bakit nagiging ano na kapag ka dito over 833? Try natin 20,834. 834 times 12. Ano na ang mangyayari? Magiging 250,008 na siya. So magiging over na siya doon sa 250,000, which is over 283, piso lang naman. Kasi lagi nating iisipin, excess lang naman ang kinukuha natin sa pagtatax. Okay? Actually guys, the withholding tax and the graduated income tax it's like just the same. Okay? Yung withholding tax lang talaga kasi, it is a choice for the employer in basing of withholding its employee. Okay? So that's the purpose of this. Okay, let's move on sa next. Sorry, na-exit ko na naman. Okay, so this is our graduated income tax table. So let's move on to our computation of income tax of pure compensation. We're done with that kanina. Okay? Ito yung mga nililas natin lagi, mandatory contribution, yung employee share, yung mandatory contribution nililas natin yan, de minimis benefit, yung within the ceiling, yung 90,000 pa rin, and 13-month pay and other benefits, 90,000, and non-taxable exempt compensation income. Okay. Kung exempt, ito yung mga tinatawag nating mga minimum wage earner. Okay. Next, withholding tax on compensation income. Yan. Okay, withholding tax on compensation income. Only taxable income exceeding 250,000 shall be subjected to the withholding tax on compensation income. Yun nga yung sinasabi natin kanina. Ito yan, babalik ulit tayo dito. Itong daily na to, ito, kapag pumunta ka sa daily, kapag nandito ka sa number 2, sa excess, pagka yung 688, i-times mo sa 365, magsasubject yan sa over sa 250,000. Itong weekly na to, na 4,809 na excess, kasi excess of over ng 4808, kung magiging 4809 yan, i-multiply mo kung ilang weeks sa isang buong taon, magiging over 200 pa rin yan. So magkakaroon na ng withholding tax, okay, ang isang empleyado or isang pure compensation earner na person, if nag-exceed na siya doon sa 250,000, na which is nandun sa ano natin, sa gross income natin. Okay? Yung sa graduated table natin. Gross income yan lagi. Okay? Ayan, no? Thus, a compensation income earner with a salary of 685 per day is subject to withholding tax. Which is kanina, si Mr. A is 685 per day sa minimum wage niya, not subjected to the withholding tax compensation income.